Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this episode of Resume Fix, I want to talk about references. The references that are applicable to job hunting are professional references. The information that a reference provides is verification of the positions that you held, the accomplishments that you recite on your resume, and further background information about your methods or other information about your work habits. Depending upon where you worked, what level you are, and what information you put forth on your resume, those references are going to be more or less meaningful to a prospective employer and therefore more or less meaningful to you. Before you put someone's name down on a reference, as a reference, you should talk to them and get their permission. If you can get a letter of recommendation, that is a good way to go, because then you have the specific information and you don't have to have prospective employers reaching back to contact this person, although they still may. So that is a good idea, to provide additional information with your cover letter, your resume, or an application, to have the letter of recommendation already provided. I have another video about how to write a recommendation and how to ask for one. So you might check those out if you're curious. So if you don't have a letter of recommendation and you want to include the reference information, now whether or not you include the reference information on the resume or as an attachment to the resume is up to you, but you should have these ready. The information should be ready. The name, the contact information should be available, either to put on your resume or to put in a cover letter or a supplemental cover letter or information to the prospective employer. Sometimes you're going to wait. If you have enough information on your resume that the page is covered and they're not asking for references, you don't necessarily have to provide it at the time. I think it's a better practice to go ahead and give that information. The less trouble you cause the prospective employer, the better. The more information they have, the better. That way they can go ahead, they can see that you have the references, they can match that up to the other positions and accomplishments. They can go ahead and contact them possibly and then get back to you. It makes it easier. You want to make their job easier, and in particular easier to choose you. That's what this is all about. You want to stand out, you want to be the best candidate, you want to get the job. So if you are going to go about getting your references together, you want to talk to those people. You want to prepare them two ways. You want to fill them in on what your situation is. Are you in a job now and you're looking for another job, therefore you don't want to alert your current employer? Or are you free? Have you made a separation, you took a buyout, or you had some other separation from that past job and now you're available to go into a new position? Let them know that. You don't want the person who's serving as your reference to be embarrassed themselves, so you want them to be prepared to talk about what you are representing on your resume. They should have a copy of your resume. They should know the type of job or the employer, if not the specific employer, the kind of employer, the kind of industry, the kind of job you're looking for, and so they can relate your experience and their experience with you to help you. So you want them to be prepared, so tell them what's going on. And then also you want them to know your situation so they don't inadvertently embarrass you or cast a bad light on you. You definitely don't want them to hurt your chances. You want them to help your chances. So communicate with them in advance, get their current contact information, give them your time frame, tell them what you're applying for and how you're using their information or how you think their information can help you. Now this is important. If you are applying for multiple types of jobs, you may want to think about not putting the references on your resume so that you don't make a mistake. If you're going to be, because you should be using different references for different positions. They don't have to, try to evaluate calls coming in and guess and it just makes it smoother. Then you have to guard against making the mistake of sending out the wrong version of the resume to the wrong prospective employer. See what I mean? So if you are going to apply for multiple different types of positions, then you really should have a separate sheet with your references keyed to that particular position that you're going for, and keep those straight. Follow up with an email to your references to confirm, this is what I'm looking for, this is the type of position I'm looking for and applying for, and I really appreciate you agreeing to serve as my reference. And then you also might want to follow up and send them a list of the companies that you are forwarding your resume to, so that then if they are contacted, they can pull up on their email, they have the information available. It helps them, again, helps them help you. So that's the goal. So I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, leave us a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Share this with anyone who may need this assistance, or you think it might help them to figure out what they're going to include on their resume, and also how to communicate with people to get that agreement for them to serve as a reference. Thanks for watching. I'll be with you next time.